What is up? What is up, everyone?
Yo,
Oh,
How you all doing today?
what's good?
what
What's
a
good?
day. What a day.
What a day, gentlemen. What a day. The I don't know. I don't know where to start with this. I'm just gonna say real quick, just off the top of my head. There was a lot of times this season where I'm like, dude, this season's lost. This sucks. My soul hurt. And it's like every now and then it's like, I didn't really know where to go fully. And then like the Clemson game got us. And I'm like, or we got the Clemson game, said that wrong, and I'm like, okay. And then it's like then Stanford, it's just like this season's been insane.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster.
And but to like you've never beaten Clemson, period. So this is like you have that automatically this season. Or for this season. But to be able to go into Lexington and absolutely dominate like we did, caps it off. Not a better way to cap it off.
Yeah. It's a season that we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about from, for the next 9 months. And, it's going to be a constant conversation of, by the way, is the background noise too bad with the leaves rustling?
No, I can't hear anything.
All right, cool. Sorry. Just a little windy and I'm sitting outside. But it's going to be a season where we sit back and, we have a lot of questions and, talk about it a lot. But to go out this way, it speaks to the resilience of the team and the coaching staff. And it's very clear what we're building towards, if that makes sense. We may not be there yet, but I would argue that we're getting there very quickly.
And
absolutely.
Guys, we just beat Kentucky about 4 touchdowns, and Ja'Cory Brooks didn't catch a pass.
Yeah.
Like, let that sit in for a second. Like, we dominated the line of scrimmage in every way.
Yeah. I just want to point out this man's lived in the backfield today.
I mean, how many rushing yards did we finish up with? 300?
370?
Well, it's a lot of these things.
358.
A lot of these things that I'm going to say are going to turn into off-season conversation. But it really just kind of reinforces that this isn't the traditional what you expect out of a Jeff Brom or Brian Brom offense. We have become a power run team, essentially, without running a I set,
And I want to point out that there's a specific individual that plays a massive part of that you do everything you can to retain, and that is one and only Coach Barclay.
Well, I mean, again, off-season conversations. I think realistically, you love to see it.
Love it. Love
to see it. Love to see it. I think realistically, man, you're going to be competing against the NFL for him here soon because he's making that much of a name for himself. Which that's a tough battle to win. But let's keep it on Kentucky though. Let's talk a little bit about what we saw.
I never even thought about the Kentucky side or the NFL side of that.
Dude, when Isaac busted that 67-yard touchdown run after the scoop and score, that was just basically everything we have been like desiring and needing for the last 5 years in this game. Is when they throw a punch, we punch them right back. And today we did that every single time. Every single time they wanted any sort of momentum. Oh, wow, Clemson just threw an interception. When all they had to do was
I'm really sorry. This is bad video. If I keep looking behind me, it's because I'm watching the Michigan game.
Yeah, they lost. Dude, Clemson had it inside the 20. All they needed to do was set up for a field goal, and Cade throws an interception. Wow.
Wait, what's Michigan? What's the Michigan game? Did they score?
Oh, no, there was a penalty on Michigan, but I think it was after the play. So I think that's still their ball.
You guys want to hire Ryan Day as an offensive coordinator?
He's going to get ran the fuck out of town.
I don't know if they get another play. But I can't believe.
Was it dead ball or was it live ball?
It looked like it was dead ball, but I don't know. I was watching the South Carolina interception.
All right, guys. If you're watching, I definitely want to throw it. If you have multiple ways to interact with the show, you are more than welcome to come on the show. If you want to do video, audio, there's a link in the chat to join.
I'm sorry, this is really bad on my part. Sorry.
Dude, you're
Yeah.
good. I get it.
That's Michigan ball. Game over. They win.
You can
South
also
Carolina
just interact with the chat down below as well. So multiple ways to get in on the show today, but we would absolutely love to have you join in as well if you would like.
Max, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
I got a question for you before you ask me a question. In our pregame, what did we talk about? What were the 3 big keys that Louisville had to do to win the game?
Not turn the ball over. Run the fucking ball. And I mean, that was my big 2. I had to fight for a third one. What was my third one?
Control the line of scrimmage.
That wasn't my. Yeah, that was one of y'all's. But I was trying to think of my 3. But yeah, I mean, majority of ours are right there.
Well, no, I mean, and it just kind of shows you play murder ball. That's the easiest way to put it. You play murder ball and it wins. It's good football. You got the guys to do it. You know, obviously we're going into the bowl. You know, the bowl game. It's probably going to be the Gator Bowl. I think it's pretty much a given at this point. It's going to look different because you're going to have guys, you know, opt out, portal, you know, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, man. I mean, you went out there, you played your style of football, and what I keep going back to is every game this season you've played your style of football. Maybe with the exception of Notre Dame and Miami, you've won those football games.
Yeah.
I mean, just hats off to the guys, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's I hate to even ever continue to bring it up because it pains my soul, but it just makes you look back even more. But that fucking Stanford game, dude. I can't mentally get over it.
It's gonna take me. It's gonna. God bless, those dogs are going crazy. Can you hear them?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. It's not like bad.
All right, but no, that Stanford game. It's gonna take me a few months to get past talking about that. But
yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, man, just great win. And the thing that impressed me the most is you didn't see our guys play down and stoop down to their level because there's a lot of ticky-tack, little chippy stuff going on, and they didn't do that. And that talks so much to the integrity of the guys on our team.
Yep. Absolutely.
Dude, I honestly wanted to score there at the end of the game so bad, but like,
Me too.
even if we would have just taken the field goal, I probably would have been extremely happy with that. But like, dude, we just punked them for 40 minutes. Like we beat them the way we were supposed to beat them. The way we should have beat them last year. Like, we just ran them out of Kroger, as I like to call it. I mean, they went into Kroger. Very few of them went into Kroger Field with some expectations that the freshman was going to be all this, that, and the other. And we saw what happened. I mean, hats off to Ron English. I've been very hard on him all year. But, man, today –
I'll have.
I mean,
that's
today
his best called game all season.
Yeah, I mean, he was awesome. And, you know, credit to him, you know, credit to the secondary. I know they gave up a big play there at the end, but still, I mean, the one-handed catch by Quincy, incredible. I mean, the interception in the end zone. I mean, they came back. Anytime Kentucky wanted to, you know, try to get any sort of momentum, they came back with a punch to the face every time. I mean, whether it was offense or defense, you know, it was just awesome.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
I love our fan base. Josh Ingram, don't know who he is, but evidently a follower. But he just went back to a post that I made on June 1st about a Kentucky fan talking shit about like how's Louisville going to do against Kentucky this year? And he just went back from June 1st and said, I don't know, let me know. I just put the Matthew McConaughey. Nicely done.
Apparently, Ohio State and Michigan are fighting after the game at midfield.
Dude, so Penn
Hold on,
State's in
this
the Big Ten championship, right?
Yeah,
If they win today.
yeah.
If they win, it's Oregon Penn State, and that's going to be the most lopsided game this weekend.
Watch
So-
Penn State lose.
Brad,
Oh,
we're-
dude, Isaiah! Oh my God, Isaiah Cummings just tweeted Governor Cup keeps following me.
Y'all see this Missouri game? It's like full on snow football. Like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that just screams SEC
That's-
ball, right?
That's on the way here is the problem.
Yeah, I saw we're supposed to get like 2-3 inches, right?
Yeah, and some ice
But,
maybe.
No, Brad, and I, and Max, you can get in also. Brad, I'm already booking you for it. Later this week, we're going to do a college football-centric cards talk after Tuesday, obviously, going into the conference championship games. But my honest-to-God question is, who is Ohio State beating that justifies a college football playoff berth for 10-2?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna stand on this hill of the same can go for Texas. Now that can change today, but I feel like you have a lot of those teams in that same ballpark.
I'm not trying to give super hot take here. It is setting up for a team like Miami to win the national title.
Yes,
It really is.
South Carolina should get in, if we're being honest. I mean, they needed Ohio State or Georgia to lose today.
they have better wins than 90% of the AC or SEC.
They
Yeah.
do.
And I don't know how you can put a 2-loss Ohio State in over a 3-loss South Carolina who's just won 3 straight or 6 straight and beaten 4 ranked teams.
And I'll be honest with you about something. People are going to look at that Louisville and Kentucky game, and that's going to hold a lot of weight in looking at the conferences, because in the adverse,
How you won
Georgia
holds a lot of weight there.
Yeah, I can look at the Georgia and Georgia Tech game, and I can say, okay, Georgia's one of the best teams in the SEC. Georgia Tech's middle of the pack, ACC, and they went to 8 overtimes in Georgia. And then I can look at the Kentucky game and Louisville game, and I can say the exact opposite.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, because you've got Georgia Tech that took Georgia to 8 overtimes, and that held Kentucky, or Kentucky held like that, and that same Georgia Tech team is the Georgia Tech team that we beat. So it all comes back around to a point
And you can even same argument with the Georgia and Kentucky game.
Exactly. You can bring that in and mix that in because there are common opponents there.
Yeah.
You make ridiculous arguments, and that's what pisses me off, because those arguments get brought up in this shit, and that's where that Stanford, like, I hate saying it, but that's where that Stanford game bites you.
It's going to keep going back to it with the Stanford game.
It is. It's just what it's life.
Hey,
But-
I enjoyed every second of this game today. It was just, man, I wish I would have gone. Probably a good thing I didn't go. Let's just
I literally woke up this morning and laid there, and I was like, do I go? Because I'm 45 minutes away. I'm like, I can go. It was like 8:30, and I'm like, and I let the dogs out, and when I walked outside, I was like, ooh, no. And like the thermometer on the patio said like 19. I was like, no.
Man, I saw the first tweet of the stadium, and it was like 30 minutes before kickoff, and like you could see like little strains of blue, and I was like, that crowd's gonna be abysmal. And I mean, by the end of the game, it looked like no one even came. Like it looked worse than a COVID crowd, except for that, one little corner of red. So that was just, I mean, dude, we did to them what they've done to us the last 5 years. I mean,
I would argue it's never been that bad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 2018 and maybe 2019 in the second half. But, I mean, we lined up, ran it right down their throat, and they couldn't stop it.
I mean, the talent disparity and the coaching disparity that I saw today, you just don't you don't see that a lot in this rivalry. There's always, I mean, you did sometimes during the Joker years, but it's been a long time since I think it's looked like this.
Joker years were good times.
In 2018. 2018,
Yeah.
it's always going to be the outlier.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, yeah, such of a disparity. Such of a disparity. I mean, it just looked like
that photo.
it looked like Louisville was playing a G5 team, and I mean that as respectfully as possible.
It looked like a JSU game.
It did,
and the score damn near reflects.
It did. And, you know, I'm going to keep going back and forth. I don't want to talk too much specifically about Kentucky, but putting Cutter Boley in that game is malpractice.
Yes and
All
no.
of us could have told you that was going to happen.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is the malpractice, yes, but what it is, it's saving ass because it's coming down to the point if he goes out and plays a hell of a game, oh, look who I recruited, look who I brought in, look what I brought in as the quarterback of the future here. But if he goes out and shits the bed, like he did,
could you not make that same argument with Winsat?
Yeah, I was impressed with Gavin today. I mean,
I was gonna say Gavin played okay.
He had a good deep ball.
He did, which surprises me because he's not that stereotypical. That's not what he's known for. So it caught me off guard because I'm like, as I put it in the group chat, I was like, dude, he can throw the ball.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like him honestly. He looks like a genuinely solid quarterback. I don't understand why he wasn't starting the season.
To be
After
honest
what I
with you,
see.
like, I don't know if I've ever seen that arm strength out of him. Because like at Rutgers, they didn't really take a lot of deep shots. It was a lot of the dink and dunk. And you know, I mean, give Gavin credit. That was a beautiful, beautiful throw. I mean, it
was.
But he went to the wrong school, so that's on him.
The thing that I'm going to keep going back to is just the difference in talent on the line of scrimmage. And we've been having the conversation as a fan base, collectively as a fan base. We've been having the conversation a lot about how do you supplement high school recruiting with transfer portal recruiting. And I think this is a clear example of playing against a team that primarily recruits upper 3 4-star guys on their line of scrimmage, that you can transfer talent in the transfer portal, at least in the line of scrimmage. This should be example number 1 because they flat out kicked their ass today.
Can I point out one thing that still upsets me? I get it, and I'm not going to say it wasn't the right call because I'm really split if it was, but Thor's targeting.
Oh, ridiculous.
That's a hard one. It's a hard one.
It is because it's my opinion, and like try to be as unbiased as possible. Like that's a razor's edge of that rule. Like I feel like he pulled out and tried to avoid helmet to helmet contact as much as he possibly could. Like there was an attempt made, and then like in my opinion, if there's an attempt made to avoid it, it shouldn't be called. But at the same time, it technically still follows the rule because you're good. I just like because like I don't, in my opinion, like he didn't launch. He didn't it's not like he launched that trajectory. It was just he went, he was going to make a play, and I'm still gonna say, like, I feel, in my opinion, like he tried to stop what he could stop the contact, I guess. But
yeah, like and Boley, like the way he slid, like there was nothing you could do. Like there was legit nothing you could do. So I mean, I don't know how you can make that call. It's
a rough call. Like I understand both sides. Like I like I said, my opinion is if the player that is initiating the contact, if he's trying to avoid the contact like actively, and you could see he was trying not to, he was trying to lift his head up, like then I have a hard time agreeing with that call. But at the same time, I'm like, he still hit him helmet to helmet. I mean, at the end of the day, like if you're gonna follow the textbook rule, it fits.
It's a really hard one because, and it kind of goes back to where I personally think the rule should be. There should be a flagrant 1 and a flagrant 2 style of it.
I agree.
Because it was unintentional. I mean, but
Exactly.
yes, it's there for player
give
safety.
him give him the yards, but don't eject him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I 100% agree.
He's gonna miss the first half of the bowl game.
Yep.
He won't be playing in the first half of the bowl game, man.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
He won't be playing in any of the bowl game more than likely.
I don't know.
I really doubt it. He's still getting good draft.
I know, but he missed parts of the season still.
He's still getting good grades, but that's another day.
That's because he's on the freaks list, though.
He is.
So, I mean, honestly, that freaks list matters a lot with draft stock.
Yeah.
No, you got an old pig skin in your hands.
Dude, this is an old one.
I know.
Look at this.
Been through some shit.
Think about this today. Chris Hughes had more catches than Ja'Cory Brooks. And I don't think Chris Bell called a pass in the second half. I could be wrong.
I don't think so. I don't remember one.
So they eliminated your two best receivers.
Yeah, but the thing is, we have such good talent in the receiver.
Exactly.
And yeah.
Katarius, you got Katarius Red Hicks. You've got Chris Hughes. I'm gonna talk to him. We're gonna have a conversation about that. By the way,
get that fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've got so much young talent. There's so much young talent in this entire team. Deuce Adams, Pierce Clarkson, Duke Watson, Isaac Brown, Katarius Hicks.
Am I crazy for wanting Pierce Clarkson to play that entire last drive?
No, he went in, and I was like, "Give me what I've." Because if things shake out differently in the future, I would at least know what I got. And what did I see? I saw a quarterback go out there and get a first down, and then come out. I'm like,
I get why Jeff does it that way to especially get the seniors the experience and the walk-ons, but you got to give them an opportunity.
I agree. You owe it.
That's just
you owe it to the fans.
That's a different conversation though for a different day.
Yeah, I might have somebody that's going to join in on that conversation. Luckily, so
yeah.
But no, what is my computer doing? Lord have mercy on my soul. I do want to point out one thing that if you're new and just tuning in, Brad, you're breaking up. But if you're new and just tuning in, who do we get? That this is still a Chris Hughes fan page. And I just wanted to point that out a little bit more.
Look at that beautiful face.
I know. This is a Chris Hughes fan page. Shout out to Chris Hughes. But all right, we're gonna get back in here. Sorry.
All right. So do you have to win the bowl game for you to be happy with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Opponent. It's objective.
It's
choice
probably
going to
be Texas A&M or Missouri.
I think we should easily beat Missouri. I think we can control Missouri. I don't think I'm not saying easily like today.
I mean, it's hard to make. Give me 2 weeks and I'll tell you what happens in the bowl game. Once we get some opt-outs. But I think right here,
that's
right
a big
now,
thing.
With this current team,
yeah,
neutral field, I would take Missouri, or I would take Louisville over Missouri, and I'd probably take them over Texas A&M. But it's the overarching conversation of how good is the SEC? Because, brother, we're done with the season and we still don't know.
So you know that both of us, we're both married into SEC families. Mm-hmm. You're into Alabama family. I'm into an Auburn family. So that's the thing. Like me and my brother, it's getting close. Oh, it is that time. So, but that's one conversation that we were talking about. I sent a picture of the scoreboard at the end of the game, and did the old classic. The SEC, it just means more. And they're like, you're playing Kentucky. It's like boxing a blind child. So I followed it up with the Georgia score last night. And they were like, well, Georgia Tech beat Miami and Florida State, so that's not that impressive. I'm like, yeah, but we beat Georgia Tech. which gives us that whole circle of chaos that Louisville's involved in.
I've made the tweet like 4 times now, and I'm going to stand by it. My favorite
Put
part
us in,
about
you cowards.
my favorite thing about the 12-team college football playoff is now I have people in the South with me discovering what bracketology is for the first time.
Oh, Brad missed this, Josh. Hey, Brad, in case you forgot, this is a Chris Hughes fan page.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I
I was just making sure that you still understood.
Hey, the rest of today and next week is going to be really fun because, I mean, there's a lot that could still happen. Like this, really, outside of maybe the top 4, even now, like you really don't know how it's going to shake out. Like it's really just one big glob of teams that are going to fall somewhere between 1 and 12. Like,
yes,
because I think A&M is going to win tonight, and that'll throw a wrench in Texas.
You could
just
play
like
Texas.
Ohio State today.
You could play Texas in the Gator Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, we could play South
You could play
Carolina.
Alabama in the Gator Bowl.
We could play Alabama. We could play Georgia. Like, there's still a lot out there. Now, I think Georgia will still get in, whether it's, in the, 5 or 6 or 9 or 10. I think they'll get in. But yeah, I mean, this is why I was such a big fan of the playoff expanding to 12 teams, because especially in the month of November, there's so much at stake, with so many different teams. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn gave Bama a game today. I mean,
I actually have Auburn winning.
Yeah, I mean, we could very well at the end of the night know who the 12 teams are going to be, or we could very well have zero clue. Right now, we don't have.
And this is the beautiful thing that I love so much about how today went, and the fact that we played at noon, is that now for the next 2 months almost, I get to take off the Louisville hat, and I just get to watch really, really good football for the next 2 months, because that's what it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be great. I'm going to, as your average football fan, I'm probably, and I don't mean this badly, I'm probably going to enjoy football more now after the Kentucky game than I did before the Kentucky game, because it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, Syracuse just tied it too.
I mean, you don't know, dude, I don't watch out, because with this current format, there's teams like an SMU that could get hot and do something.
Yeah.
Who was your all's biggest surprise this game?
This game?
Yep.
I'll say the defensive line. Even though we kind of thought, this could be a game where they really stand out, I'm going to just give it to the whole unit. I did not see them dominating it in the way they did. I thought they had the advantage, but man, they pummeled Kentucky's offensive line. I mean, hats off to them.
About you, Josh?
I'm going to go full circle really quickly.
Fun.
Chris Bell.
I mean, Duke Watson was pretty good too, but I'll save that one for you, Max.
There's not a wrong answer.
There's not. There's no bad answer.
I mean,
unless you're like Pierce Clarkson, that's.
Let me pull this up. Here's the thing: Pierce Clarkson played one play and got a first down. So again, there's not a wrong answer.
Syracuse's touchdown just got taken off the board.
I mean, just real quick. I mean, you had Tyler Shough, who's 9 for 18, 128 yards. That's the first time where that's probably not an option. But the thing is, he still played well.
That's a not good game.
Exactly. Here's the thing. Anytime my quarterback goes out and has a bad game, quote unquote, but doesn't throw a pick, I'm cool with it. You're good. I'll wait.
Yeah, that's the thing is if you would have brought up those stats before the game, we would have all been.
If you told me Shough had 128 yards, I'd have cried.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been terrified.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just crazy. But
my thing is, like, so we're going back to that. Isaac Brown, 178 yards, 6.8 yards a carry. Duke Watson, bless that man's soul, 6 carries for 104 yards, 17.3 yards a carry, both with 2 touchdowns. Here's the thing. Maurice Turner came out 5 carries, 27 yards. Keywan Brown came out 5 carry. Tell me that's a different story. Keywan Brown came out 5 carries, 26 yards. Actually, Pierce evidently ran the ball 3 times. I was getting a beer at that point. And then Chris Bell, 3 receptions, 84 yards. Chris Hughes, 1 reception, 15 yards. I mean, I have my player of the game, but
Who is it?
well, players / it's the offensive line. You went up against what is touted as one of the best defensive lines in the entire country, and you manhandled them to a point where that game, the offensive line, in my opinion, was the game changer in that game. The offense, for the most part, the offensive line did every single thing they could to promote the offense scoring. Yeah, yes, there was stalled drives, but that was usually because of secondary, good coverage in the secondary or questionable play call. Who am I to say? But the offensive line, like, I don't believe Shough got sacked once.
Well, and like this isn't me trying to prop up our offensive line or prop up Kentucky, but Kentucky legitimately has 2+ NFL caliber guys in their front 7.
Yeah,
like
100%.
It's a masterclass.
So that's my big thing. I mean, to give let me look, because I'm fairly certain that there was not a sack. Yeah, so our offensive line gave up 0 sacks against the best offense, supposedly one of the best offensive lines in the country. And I don't even think the air quotes are needed. I mean, it's the same offensive line that, defensive line that has dominated Georgia, dominated Ole Miss, dominated, honestly, a lot of teams where early in the season, like that Georgia game and that Ole Miss game, I'm like, shit, like Kentucky, they might not be able to. I was gonna say they might not be able to score, but they're gonna keep you from scoring. So
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was gonna say just for being able to absolutely come out and absolutely dominate, it's got to go to the offensive line for me.
Big picture here, because I'm a big picture guy. On a scale, if I had to give you on a 1 to 10 scale, going into the transfer portal, how do you feel about the program right now?
I think it's too early to ask that, because
before you go into the transfer portal.
Oh, you're talking early transfer portal. Ooh.
Yeah.
I think you're coming off crazy high notes. You're ending the season, majority of the season. I mean, your last wins in the final season are a dominating win against a pretty good Pitt team at home. I mean, a Pitt team that majority of people thought was going to throw a wrench in the ACC. A Clemson at home, or at Clemson, in a night game that you dominated them. And you just went into SEC rival Kentucky and embarrassed the coaching staff, the players, and the fans.
And the conference.
And the conference, yes. Because, I mean, well, SEC's doing a decent job of that alone in the last couple of weeks. But that's what, I mean, I'm a firm believer. Like, I don't think there is a conference above all conferences anymore. I think the portal is ruined, has ripped that to pieces. I think you have teams that are going to remain above other teams. I think this whole conference bullshit, I think it's over. The only boost that you get between the ACC and the SEC is that TV money. And I don't think that's going to be lasting long.
I don't either. I don't either, man.
I don't think that disparity between the two, like how drastic it is, I don't think that lasts long, especially after what the ACC did this season with all
That's
this.
a completely different conversation that we
Yes,
haven't.
that's an off-season conversation.
We haven't entered those waters yet on the page, but that content's coming. Give me January.
Yep. So, but yeah, like that is. I'm a firm believer in. I think you go into the portal, and my biggest thing with it is you can go into the portal and you can point at a piece of paper at a stat sheet and say, "This is what our transfers did." This is Ja'Cory Brooks, 1,000-yard wide receiver. Tyler Shough, 3,000-yard quarterback that is probably going to get drafted. Ja'Cory Brooks also probably going to get drafted.
There's a very smart man that came on here after Clemson and said that exact thing.
I was drunk after Clemson.
Not wrong.
But that's what. But like you can point to a stat sheet and say, and here's the thing: Barclay and who is it? Somebody else on the defensive side. No, it's not Hova. Somebody on the defensive side. But they tweet all the time. Come be. It can be you. Yeah, it can be great. It can be you. You're next or something like that. Like what better argument? You just took a better or a team that is a high percentage of transfers, and you're looking at probably 6-7 guys getting drafted.
Yeah,
I mean probably more. Yeah. I feel like that's on the low end. I
think it is too. I think it is too. I mean, a lot of that's going to depend on what guys do in the Shriner Bowl and in Mobile and whatnot. But the thing that's so nice about Louisville, and I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like at your Ole Misses and your Colorados that also go super heavy in the portal, you can't make this argument. But I can go back to Louisville and say, man, we've taken transfer portal guys and put them into the NFL every single year since the transfer portal's been open.
Like clockwork.
And on top of that, you want to get really crazy with this. Brother, we got the 502 circle money.
And it ain't stopping.
And that ain't stopping, and that's a good chunk of money.
Yeah. So
get ready, boys. We're going to have a fun transfer portal season.
I love it.
Might even take a guy in blue today.
You might.
Might even take a guy that was wearing blue today.
You mean black?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. They were in black, weren't they?
Yeah. Is his name Dane Key? Just kidding.
No, not Dane. The other one.
Did y'all hear the rumor about him today?
No, what?
That he quit mid-game.
Yeah, that he quit. It wasn't really an injury, but he just quit.
Dane Key did?
Yeah.
That's the rumor. It's a rumor. I am not going to say that is a factual statement at all. But the rumor going around Twitter is that he quit on the team, and that's why he got injured.
Do you blame him?
I don't.
Here's the thing, though. Like, if you do what you did last year, you can't expect us to come in and be nice. Like, if you're going to dish it out, like, you got to be able to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, their fans didn't even show up.
Oh, it's because they don't care about football.
Show up either. Well, that's what I told my wife. She's like, why is it so empty? And I'm like, well, one thing that you'll understand about Kentucky fans eventually is they only show up when they're winning, and the rest of the time they're not fans.
Yeah,
the rest of the time they'll tell you it doesn't matter.
The moment that Mark Pope plays Little Sisters of the Poor in late October for his exhibition games, football doesn't exist anymore. Now, that doesn't mean the fact that Kentucky only has 4 wins at that point in the season, but they just don't care.
It's true. It is true.
So,
guys, per the normal, if you want to get in on the show, you guys can drop a chat down below or follow that pretty little link, and you can actually join us video, audio on here. I guess so. My one thing that I wanted to bring up, because it's really easy to overact during the game, but anything specifically that you actually seen that bothers you now that the game's over? Any concerns? And I know it's weird to say going into a bowl game at this point, but
it's the same concern that I've had all year, and that's that the initial scripted drives look so bad.
Yeah. You go out and fall on your face really early.
It's really hard to make that argument when you win by 30 plus points.
because all the other drives work out. But
yeah, but the scripted, so your scripted drive should be your best work, and it's been rough all season.
does that fall on head coach or offensive coordinator?
More OC and scouting, in my opinion. Yes, Jeff is calling the plays, but Jeff is not doing the scouting. I mean, he's a part of the process, but he's the freaking head coach. He has a lot more to do than sit in a film room for 40 hours a week.
He should have a lot more to do.
So that's my one concern. It's been a concern all season. And what's so funny is it was the exact opposite last year.
We were on like a 3-year streak or almost a 3-year streak at one point where we scoring on opening drives or something.
Yeah.
Not really a 3-year, but close. It was like 2 years. It was like 18 games in a row or something. We had scored on opening drives.
That sort of thing. I'm not calling for anyone's head at all. Nothing like that. It could be a weird coincidence, and it could just be a simple thing of, hey, we need more GAs on scouting. And okay, cool. What about you, Brad?
Any concerns, Brad?
I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest with myself, there's nothing that concerns me right now. But it's also, we just beat out of Kentucky. So maybe later in the week I'll have some concerns, but today, no negativity from me. 100% happy. Everything was perfect.
Well, boys, I'm very sorry. I'm going to hop off here.
That's good. We got a 45-minute show in.
Yeah, I got a laptop that's about to die. We'll talk maybe tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Maybe. Who knows? We got content schedule out.
Tomorrow. I don't know. That might be a smaller show, but it might be a good just recap show. Recap the week.
Yeah, because I definitely want to do a little general college football content this week.
Yeah.
It's just that time of the year.
Yeah. And this is so for those of you guys that are curious, so Josh, of course, is our football guru. So even in the off season, he's going to be putting together shorter form, mid-length form content just on general football, whether it be portal changes or anything and everything. So
we're going to talk a lot about the Sun Belt.
I mean, a lot of good comes out of the Sun Belt.
Sun Belt and the wing T offense.
Oh God, I'm an I-form guy myself, but all right. Any final thoughts, concerns, criticisms, just joyous things you want to scream out?
Hey,
you go first, Mike. I got a question for both of y'all, and then I'm done.
2,500 and however many days. Hey, this is ours for the next 365 days. I'm going to tweet the score every single day until we play them next year. I don't care what you think. I don't care that you think your team sucks. They do, but that's never been an excuse before. So you can say that all you want to, but you just got your face kicked in, and you're going to hear it for the next 365 days.
My only question is, why have they not updated Wikipedia yet? But whatever.
Hey, I'll give Kentucky credit. They actually posted the final score. Give them credit.
So proud of them.
High bar to set. My one question before I'm going to jump off of here. Are we all pretty much in agreement? It's Gator Bowl?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's hard. I mean, I think you're clearly the third best team in the ACC. The other two are going to the playoffs.
I think Clemson goes out west.
I wasn't saying, especially if Clemson loses today. Like, what's the score to that?
They lost.
Oh, is it over?
They'll probably be going out west.
Yeah, then we're in over Clemson then, because we have the head-to-head.
Who do you think our opponent is?
I think you're right on spot with Missouri or TAMU.
What about you, Brad?
I think it depends on if South Carolina gets in, because if they don't get in,
that could be a big thing. Yeah,
if South Carolina doesn't get in, that may be who we play.
Let me look at these rankings first, real quick, and then I can give you. Which, granted, these are based off. You know who, honestly, I think gets in over either one of those three? Because I don't think they're getting in the playoffs. Ole Miss.
Uh,
Losing.
I'll say this.
I don't think Ole Miss makes it in the playoffs, guys.
I'm happy. We're gonna, play in a bowl game, all that. But I'm happy with how the season ended.
That's what I think we'll
Not
play
so
in the
much
game,
how
I'll
it's
play Ole
gone,
Miss
but
game.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm just
You're cutting out,
happy
Josh.
the way it ended, and now we have a lot of momentum going into portal season.
Yeah. I think it's going to end up being Ole Miss. I don't down here. I mean, here's the thing: Texas can do no wrong. They're getting in. Georgia's getting in. Tennessee's getting in. A&M is on the cusp of getting in. I think it's going to be between Ole Miss and A&M. Maybe South Carolina. I think it's one of these three. It's going to be something else, crimson and red. That's my opinion. So, but all right.
Bring 'em
Anything
on.
else? Yep. But other than that, we're going to close it out. Brad, you got any last words?
Go Cards! Everybody have fun tonight, and enjoy it.
Kentucky.
Amen. Blasting tunes all night.
Oh, I'm going outside to chug beer and scream music. So
I'm about to put on the music myself. So
yeah, the patio speakers are gonna get warmed up real quick in this cold weather. So, all right, Brad, have a good night.
all right, buddy.
All of you guys, appreciate y'all tuning in. We will be back tomorrow for some overall just week breakdown. We got to break down the game. Let me turn this off so I can actually talk to you. So we got to break down the battle for Atlantis. As you guys know, Cards lost in the championship game, so we're going to break down that. Pretty much all three games, and then this big win with over Kentucky. Kind of breaking that streak, and kind of like what we alluded to there at the end, bowl placement where we project. That's going to be all tomorrow. But as always, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and we will talk to y'all soon. Cheers and go Cards.